you ever question why the Backstreet Boys are successful and maybe another band is not, and they're equally as talented? Do you think life is fair? How do you explain the success?
I think the way that we got together, the way that we came together, I guess is just destiny. That's what I've left it up to. And we all just love music. And I think all our musical influence together, combined in our voices, I think we have a very unique sound. I think our harmonies together, our background vocals, our sound is unique. And we just try to be real. We don't try to be something that we're not.
You're the one for me, you're my ecstasy, you're the one I need.
You were singing back home, and I know that you were sort of disillusioned. You had a few bands, and there were some times when you were just sort of questioning yourself. What made you pack your bags and just decide, okay, I'm going to Orlando? Why Orlando?
Orlando, Florida would be a good place because I heard it was going to be like the new Hollywood. And because they do a lot of casting there, not necessarily for lead roles, but you can get a start there and get your foot in the door as far as acting and television and music or whatever. And I knew that Walt Disney World was there, and it was just at the beginning of summer, and I thought it'd be easy to get a job. So me and my best friend took off the next day. We went home, packed all our stuff, quit our job, and left the next morning.
So what happened, right? So you get to Disney where you became a tour guide, is that it?
I was a tour guide first because all of their singing and acting positions were filled and they weren't going to have another audition for several months, and I needed a job. So I got a job as a tour guide.
Get down, and move it all around.
When you met up with somebody who told you about these three guys that sang a cappella and you decided you wanted to meet with them?
Well, after I'd worked in Orlando it was almost a year, well, 2 years actually, a friend of mine told me about a group, 3 guys, and they needed another singer, and they had a record company, a local record company behind them, so there would be probably no trouble, you know, getting exposure and all this stuff. So I was like, wow, that sounds like right up my alley.
We noticed that when we read the thank yous from all the band members of the Backstreet Boys, that the first thank you is God, and yours is also God, and there's a special dedication to your dad, because your dad is deceased. He died in 1991, and I get the impression from what I read about that that's really affected you.
Definitely. I think it made me realize that this life is short, and you gotta go for it.
Did your father know exactly what your dream was? Did he get to see you do
He got
something?
right before he passed away. It was really cool. I don't know, I guess, you know, things happen for a reason. My brother came from Dallas. My brother was a model. My other brother, who was in college at UK, came to Orlando. My mother and father, they all came down and they got to see me. I gave a tour, and they got to see me on the tour, and we all got to have a vacation together, and that was our last vacation together, because when my father got home, he was diagnosed with cancer. And so that's
Do you speak to him sometimes? Because I know spirituality and that is very important to you.
Yeah.
Do you? Do you feel he's with you? You feel he knows what you're doing?
I definitely think that he's watching. I just wish, you know, that I could talk to him personally sometimes and get some advice and some feedback and see, you know, what he thinks about things.